Okay, champs, welcome back to Libertas Trading and welcome to the week ahead preview for the week commencing Monday, the 1st of December. I can't believe it's already December. This year, has gone so fast. Just on the month of December, I will be extending all the free content going into December. So all of you guys will get the full content for free for the rest of the month. Now, heading into next week's calendar. Wrong calendar. This is the right calendar I'm allowed to share. So not really much going on today. We had some interesting job advertisement data coming out of Australia last night, which I will talk about in the Aussie jobs preview in about 2 weeks' time. Loads of final stuff today, nothing too important. And then we have the ISM manufacturing. So obviously we're still in a bit of a blackout period for data. We're not getting NFP until after the Fed decision. So this will be the same for ISM services, which we get, I think, on Wednesday, 3 o'clock UK time. You know, this could be quite an important one. I will be doing a preview for this in a second. So of course, we'll be looking at, the main headline PMI. Also that employment number will be very, very important today. So yeah, that's the ISM employment. Again, it's difficult to get all of these things come in line to give us a trade, but we will be looking at that in a second. I'll do a preview for that one right after this. In terms of trade for New Zealand, nothing I'll be trading, but could be worth looking at if you're still in New Zealand dollar longs after that more hawkish 25 basis points cut from the RBNZ last week. Which we spoke about. We also have on Tuesday morning the BRC short price index for the UK. Now, this 1-star rating on its impact it is pretty accurate, but I think it was 2 months ago we had a really, really low print, the lowest print in 2 or 3 months on the short price index. And we saw the pound, let me find it. So October the 28th it was. So the data came out of midnight, around about here. Didn't see any reaction out of it. Obviously, you'd expect pound downside. They were talking about really low shot prices, the lowest prices in 2 or 3 years. I can't remember the exact number now. You can look into it if you want for the for October the 28th. BRC shot price index is called. And then you saw at 7 o'clock, it was about 7:15, the pound sold off hard on the back of no real news. So, I'm not saying that this was all down to that shot price index, but it feels a bit too suspicious that the pound just fell on no news at all on the back of one of the lowest prints in a few years. So, I won't be trading this one. I won't be doing a preview for it. But if we do see some downside price action when markets open in the UK on the back of a really weak number, it could be worth something looking at. Just a bit of a quirky one there. Jay Powell speaking Tuesday morning. I won't be waking up for that, but that could be important considering we've got the Fed meeting coming up soon. What else have we got going on? So we've got JOLTS as well. Nothing I'll be trading. I'm not a massive fan of JOLTS, of course. This is September data as well. So, JOLTS is pretty stale. This isn't something I'll be trading personally. You need to see absolutely huge numbers or huge deviations out of JOLTS to see any decent moves in markets. And although jobs data will be more heavily scrutinized at the moment, I won't be touching JOLTS with a barge pole personally. Going into Wednesday night, we've got Aussie GDP. So last quarter's print, I'll show you now. Last quarter's print was, it wasn't the biggest result of all time. Small deviations from consensus. Printed, well below the max on the year-on-year, and the quarterly we printed on the max. But fairly decent move here, especially for a short-term play. So this is something we'll be talking about. I'll do a preview for this one. I'll send it off tomorrow. But Aussie GDP could be something worth looking at this week. Now, going into Wednesday morning, we've got Swiss CPI. So the Swiss National Bank have actually got an inflation target of an average of 0.4% for Q4. So, if I'd be looking at least a 0.2% deviation from consensus, which is a 0.3 or a minus 0.1. For the reason of the Swiss National Bank's target, I won't be looking at trading anything unless we get to silly numbers like a 0.5. I won't be looking at trading upside in the Swiss franc. I would be looking at trading downside actually. So we've got low estimates of 0%. So if we get anything below that, any negative prints, minus 0.1, minus 0.2, I think that'll be worth a trade. I'll be doing a preview for this one and we'll go into last month's data, which was pretty interesting. So you can look forward to that one. I'll try to get that released before tomorrow evening, ahead of the data Wednesday morning, because it's nice and early. What else have we got Wednesday? Again, loads of final data going on, which we're not really that interested in. So we've got ADP, the monthly print. This one could be interesting. Of course, we haven't got any NFP this week, which we'd normally have in the first week of the month. So ADP could be interesting. I'll definitely be doing a preview for this one, and I'd be looking at dollar upside or downside, depending if we get a beat big enough. You know, you really need a massive deviation on ADP, but we'll go into that into more detail. I'll try to get that out on Wednesday. ISM services, same score as the manufacturing. We'll be looking at the employment data. I'll be doing a preview for that one as well. I'll try to get that out a day before for you guys. And then going into Thursday, we've got claims, which I'm not really that interested in, to be fair, unless we get some absolute huge misses again above that sort of 260, 265 number, which was the highs. I'll be looking at selling the dollar, but that's looking pretty unrealistic, but always worth something keeping an eye on. And then that's it for Thursday, bit of a nothing day. And then going into Friday, not much going on. We've got some employment data, which I think is final, and final GDP. I think it should be final GDP, yeah, final GDP, so third estimate stuff, which won't be too market moving. We've then got Canadian jobs, which again, I love to trade, a bit like Aussie jobs, massively volatile data set. You get some huge deviations. We had an interesting print last month where unemployment came in lower. The employment change came in miles higher, but that full time came in, I think it was minus 18K. So a bit of a mixed print last month, but still a half decent reaction. So this could be something really nice to trade, especially because we haven't got NFP. So I love to trade Canadian jobs when we don't have NFP. So this could be worth one watching. Of course, I'll do a preview for this. I'll probably have that out Thursday afternoon. And then going into Friday evening, I thought we had this last week, but it's now on the cards for Friday. We've got the PCE data. Just doing some digging into this. So basically, the PCE data is released by the BEA, but they get a lot of their data from the BLS, which feed into this print. So on Bloomberg, we had this forecasted for last Friday. It didn't come out, of course. I've gone onto the BEA website because Bloomberg have again forecasted it for this Friday, and it says on their website, next release is to be rescheduled. So not 100% sure what's going on with this one. Which whatever happens, I probably won't be trading the PCE. Just to quickly show you PCE reactions or PCE prints over the last sort of 18 months. So we want this either green or red, which show deviations here. If it's clear, it means we came in consensus. So you can see here, you know, we very, very rarely get any tradable prints. You know, this is going back to 2024. You know, this didn't really create much of a move, but you know, you can see here that PCE is very predictable for the analysts, so something that's not really worth trading. I think my last trade on this one was December of 2023, which was 2 years ago, and even if you look there, the moves were pretty meager, so I probably won't be trading this one. I mean, I'll be keeping an eye on it. Also, it's September data, so it's incredibly stale, so something that's not worth trading. Anyway, guys, that's it for the week ahead preview. Any questions, give me a shout. And yeah, have a good week. Good luck, guys.